There we go. All right, Chicago Tough sports fans, we are back. Been on a little hiatus for a while, but I'm back here with Hitman, and we're going to do a wrestling rant for our first video in over a month?
Yeah. Actually, I think the last video we did was you and I when we did a wrestling NXT recap show.
Yep, in your house. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hold on. What did I do? Are you there, Hitman?
I'm here.
I did something to my computer. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, I minimized the screen. So, okay, Hitman, what are we talking about tonight? Let everyone know. Let our millions and millions of subscribers who've been waiting for us, let them know what we're talking about.
So today, we're gonna go over a very shocking release yesterday that happened in the WWE. Yeah, it's the guy that Tony's wearing. He's the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. For those of you that have been up under a rock, Bray Wyatt was released yesterday from his WWE contract. Just shocked the hell out of the whole wrestling community. So that's our show. We want to, get our thoughts and just kind of go from there and just like, what the hell is going on?
Okay. So I guess I'll go first. So I'm going to skip over all the other little gimmicks and characters that he did. And I'm going to fast forward all the way to November of 2012. That was the first time the Wyatt family was introduced to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
They did a couple months of promos. Well, not a couple. They did 8 or 9 months of promos, which I loved. I think we were all hanging out watching a pay-per-view when they first introduced the Wyatt family. And like a little promo, like, oh, they're coming, they're on their way. And I immediately fell in love with it. Now fast forward, the Wyatt family makes their debut on Monday Night Raw, July 8th, 2013. And they basically jumped Kane, I guess you could say, in the middle of the ring. I instantly became a fan of Bray Wyatt, the gimmick, the character. I know he didn't do a lot in the ring as far as wrestling goes, but as far as gimmick and creativity, he was a small light in what you could, I guess you could call like a darkened room for WWE. Something they needed, something that the fans wanted, something that I loved. Great matches, just theatrical entrances. I say it all the time. For me, to like a wrestler, I'm one of those fans where I have to like their entrance. If I don't like the entrance, chances are I'm not going to like them in the ring. It's just the entrance catches me. So then he goes away for a while in 2018, I believe. He goes away for whatever reason. I stopped watching wrestling for a while because Bray Wyatt wasn't there. My entertainment wasn't there. My favorite wrestler wasn't there. Sitting at home one night and Jimmy texts everyone. I'll never forget. Did you guys see Bray Wyatt's return? I was like, what? So I jumped on YouTube, and he doesn't come out as Bray Wyatt anymore. He comes out as the Fiend. And I was like, holy shit. With the demon mask, and then the lantern was supposed to look like his skin, like his face, the skin from his face over the lantern. That is the shit that I love. That morbid, graphic, evil shit. And that's what I love. And my favorite Hollywood makeup artist did the mask, his costume, the lantern, Tom Savini. He did it all for him.
Right.
You ever seen a George Romero movie? Tom Savini's name is in those credits. So then the Fiend comes, and he becomes world champion twice, I think. That's when he started getting screwed. And I've been saying it for years to you guys. Why do they keep screwing Bray Wyatt? Why do they keep screwing the Fiend? Why won't they give him a title match, like a good title run? When the whole Lesnar, the Beast thing was going on, I always had this idea. Why don't they have Bray Wyatt come tame the Beast and make him part of the Wyatt family? Why don't they, or something in those lines? And then they come up with this Firefly Funhouse, which I thought was awesome. The whole let me in, the whole he's all happy and giddy, and then it gets evil. Fast forward to this WrestleMania, greatest WrestleMania entrance I've ever seen. The whole Jack in the Box, the whole him resurrecting, and then he loses that match the way he did. I was like, what the hell, man? It's like, what is going on with Bray Wyatt? Or the Fiend, or whatever you want to call him. What are they doing to him? Why do they keep doing this? Why do they keep... They have such a great character, a great gimmick, but they won't do anything with it. The Monday night after WrestleMania, he does the Firefly Funhouse thing, and he says he's going to be back. The Fiend will be back. He's coming back. Everything will be okay. But he never came back. And I understand why. The whole Brody Lee thing. You know, his friend died. But they hand the gimmick over to Alexa Bliss, who, in my opinion, has just fucking butchered it, man. I don't like it anymore. I'm not into it. The whole playground, the Lily, it's all just bad and stupid. Then they make a hint that he's going to be returned to SummerSlam, right? He put out the little tweet of him like winking his eye with the whole SummerSlam headline. What's today's date? August 1st?
Yep.
So let's fast forward to July 31st. What time did I text you at?
It was about 12:30, maybe.
I'm going to look it up because I want the exact date, or I want the exact time. Let's see. That was at 11:43 a.m. And they fucking fired him. They let him go for budget cuts. But fucking Goldberg is there again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I come home, I get my new fucking shirt in the mail because my wife shrunk my other one and my belly's hanging out of the goddamn thing. So I get my new one, I wear it for the first time, and they release them. Mickey James put out the best tweet. Oh, and by the way, I want to say 95% of the wrestling community, that includes fans, indie wrestlers, the WWE superstars, the main roster, they're all pissed about this. Mickey James said, like in the words of Vince McMahon, oh, you have a great gimmick, you have great creativity, but I'm going to take that and give it to someone else, profit off it. Oh, yeah, you're released. I have no reason anymore to watch Monday Night Raw. 100% honesty, I've been watching Monday Night Raw, waiting for the return of the Fiend / Bray Wyatt. I have no reason anymore to watch Raw. None. Zero. Monday Night Raw is pretty much dead to me, man. It's dead. Like, legitimate. That was the only reason I've been watching since WrestleMania. Because Raw, let's face it, maybe 3 episodes have been good since WrestleMania. I have nothing to look forward to. I will not watch Alexa Bliss. They're going to be in Chicago tomorrow. I hope they fucking boo her the whole entire time. And Vince, I know it's not her fault. I'm sure she didn't march in there and say, let him go, give me the gimmick, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? She should say, you know what? That's not right what you did. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm pretty sure that she had no idea this is what Vince was going to do. You know, I follow her on Twitter. She seems like a cool chick. She doesn't seem shady or anything like that. But that's through the Twitter machine. You know, that's through whatever she likes to put up for everyone to see, you know? Just going off that, she doesn't seem like a bitch. I'll say that. I legitimately got pissed off when I saw they released him. I thought it was a joke, man. But and for budget cuts, you bring Jinder Mahal back, you bring Goldberg back, you bring Cena. I understand Cena, but still, you bring him back. You have to pay him. You know they're probably going to bring back Lesnar or The Rock. One of those two are coming back. But you have this golden egg, this golden opportunity to make wrestling awesome again. For the fans to sit in the stands, you finally have asses in seats to do the whole Firefly thing with the light on your phone and the song and the remix song by the band, Code Orange, I think. It was just so good. And you let them go. You just let them go. And I know you have a different perspective of wrestling and you look at the business aspect of it. I don't want to hear it, man, because it's a stupid move that was not good for business. Fuck Vince McMahon. I don't know what the swearing rules are on YouTube, but fuck Vince McMahon, dude. He is a piece of shit. So I text Scott, and he brought up a good point. This is where I start mellowing out a little bit. He said, and Scott is not a fan of AEW. He's told me this. He said AEW should give him 6 months, come up with a gimmick for him, like The Fiend, and have him come take a belt. I was like, you know what? That's true. That's a good idea. You have Malachi Black over there. You have the Dark Order over there. I'm a fan of the Dark Order, but I think they should live up to their name, the Dark Order. They come out all happy and giddy in their face, right? We could say the Dark Order, their face. I think Bray Wyatt or Rotundo, whatever you want to call him, I think he could really, really make AEW even better than what it is now. And AEW is really good. They're starting to call it WWE Elite, WWE Elite Wrestling. They're starting to call it because everyone's going over there. Strowman's going to go. If Bray Wyatt goes, Strowman's going. I hope he goes because those two. I never liked when Strowman left the Wyatt family. I thought that, well, he didn't leave. He got written out of it, which I always thought was stupid. But I agree with Scott. I don't want it to happen now because I don't want the light to be taken from Punk. You know Punk's showing up in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the Rampage, AEW Rampage on a Friday night. Punk's coming. He's popping up. To have him come up any other time would just not make sense. Okay, you go. I just have so much to say. I want you to have a turn.
It's all good. Look, you said you didn't want to hear, because I have a different perspective from the business end.
Of course, go for it.
Well, I mean, look, I told you earlier that I had a different perspective because, like you know what? It wasn't so much I was pissed. I was more shocked that it happened. One of the things that I thought about was, amongst many things between yesterday and today, was when I got the text from you was the same thought that you had. Is it a joke? Is it from a fake account?
Yeah.
So I started looking through my stuff, and then a couple of people that I follow on Twitter, Meltzer, and a couple of other, Twitter users who, I follow and have reported on news and stuff like that. confirmed it. It's like, all right. At first, like I was shocked, disappointed, whatever you want to call it. Then I kind of took a step back for a second. I'm like, all right. I don't have any inside information. I read the news just like everyone else, but I can kind of put 2 and 2 together to make 4. There's 3 sides of every story. And this is where I think it comes in, where everything comes into play. When the WWE says that they did it for budgetary reasons, I think that's part of the story.
Yeah.
I do think it's that plays a part. I also think that there was some legit creative differences between what Bray Wyatt wanted to do and what the WWE wants to do.
Like with Aleister Black.
Right. So I do think there were some budget issues, there's some creative issues. Now you have all this coming into play.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? The WWE and the creative team, right or wrong, this is their company. They can do whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah.
They're going to say, hey, we want you. We know you have this character. You developed it. But guess what? We pay you. So we want you to take it down this road. Bray Wyatt being the person that he is, protective of his character and his gimmick as well as he should,
yep,
says no. So what does the WWE do?
See ya.
Exactly. They go, and this goes to the Mickie James tweet.
I loved it.
My problem with the Mickie James tweet is actually not even a problem. It's one of those where she spoke the truth. But I think what we as fans have to realize is that, guess what? That shit goes on every day in pro sports, in wrestling, and in everyday life, including our jobs.
Yeah.
That's not new. Yeah. So the WWE decided, you know what? We got Alexa Bliss over here. She's making half of what you're making. She doesn't really complain about the creative side. She's making just as much money off merchandise doing Lily as you doing the Fiend. Yep. Guess what? We're gonna have Alexa Bliss take on the gimmick and pay her less. There's your budget. There's your budget cut.
Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay.
Remember when she started doing the Sister Abigail move?
Yeah.
What did I tell you was going to happen?
Yeah.
She's becoming the Fiend. And then what the hell are they going to do with Bray Wyatt? Remember what I told you with Vince McMahon? He did some interview or something, and it came out what he said, that he doesn't consider AEW competition. Maybe he should give them some more talent. And then a few days later, this guy's gone. I know that's not. I know that's not. I can't help but think this has something to do with it.
I still don't put 2 and 2. I think when he said that, I truly believe that Vince McMahon doesn't think that AEW is competition. I truly believe that. As far as like give them some more talent, his comment was basically like, look, every talent that's left in WWE for the most part has gone over there. Yep. It's no different than what happened with WCW. Yep. My concern is that I don't want AEW to suffer the same fate as WCW.
Yeah, I know.
Where you have all these talents that come in, and eventually you got to find WCW. That problem was basically just like, we got all this big name talent, all these egos. Like, it's fine right now with AEW because it's new. But what happens like 4 or 5 years down the line when you got guys that want to get paid, that just want to show up, just do stuff? Yeah. See, AEW right now is cool. It's just a cool thing. Like I gave you the best analogy between both companies. WWE is corporate.
Yep.
And AEW is blue collar. It's what the people want. It's just a cool thing to do right now.
Yep.
So when I talk about how it's somewhere in the middle, it's creative, it's it's budget, it's both of those. Because like I said, I could be wrong. They decided to go with Alexa Bliss because they're pretty much doing the exact same gimmick and they're paying her less to do it. Right or wrong. That's their company. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. My concern, and you brought this up, and I'm happy you did. If I'm Alexa Bliss, I'm telling creative, I don't want to do the gimmick anymore.
Yep.
But she won't. But if they decide that they're going to keep the gimmick, especially tomorrow being that Raw is here, it better be taped. Because if that's live, that crowd will shit on it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I wish I was going to that show.
It better be taped.
Yep. Don't bring her out in that ring.
The other issue that I have is that when you work for the WWE, there is very few people that have creative control over their characters.
Yeah.
Because the WWE, they want to micromanage. They want to. Gone are the days where guys like Austin, Rock, Cena, Triple H, Undertaker, all those guys have creative freedom.
We could still say Cena.
Oh yeah, Cena, because look, nobody, as much clout as Cena has, nobody's going to sit up here and tell Cena what to do.
No,
just not.
You know how I see it. If your name isn't John Cena, or if you're not related to The Rock, or as long as your name is John Cena and you're related to The Rock, you do whatever the hell you want. You can come and go as you please. You can walk in and out the door whenever you want. You can take control of whatever you want. That's always, which is fine. Whatever. That's the business, like you said. That's how they want to run their business.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, but even if you let's look at Roman Reigns for a second. You think Roman Reigns has full creative control over that? No.
I want to say majority.
What helps him is the fact that he's with Heyman.
Yep.
If he wasn't with Heyman, it'll be different. You'll probably see the stale, stupid stuff that he was doing before he turned heel.
Yeah. True.
But Heyman has creative control, in my opinion. But yeah, and then my issue with the Fiend character is, and you brought up an interesting point yesterday when we talked, is that you felt like Bray Wyatt was too big, or the character was too big for the company itself. I don't know if I agree that it's too big. I think it's not what they want. And my thing with the Fiend character is, it's great. It was nice when it came out.
Oh yeah.
But number one, it probably wasn't their idea, number one. And number two, they're going to take it in a direction they think they want to go. We talked about like how WWE wants to be like Disney, had this big umbrella. So they're going to make the Fiend into Hocus Pocus. Whereas where the Fiend character should be something totally different.
Yep.
That's the creative difference that I see that's happening right now between Bray Wyatt and the WWE. Bray Wyatt wants us to be more reality based, whereas the WWE just like, you know what? We wanted to be fairy tales and princesses and stuff like that. We want the Fiend to be Beauty and the Beast. That's what Alexa Bliss and the Fiend are, is Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Well, after WrestleMania, he put that post out of that biblical story, which would have been so cool.
But
it would have been amazing.
But the problem that he had is that he was hurt. He he was dealing with a medical issue that he couldn't come back yet.
Right.
Now, even with that, I'm still at that point where I'm still a little shocked that they did it. I try to understand it, and in some ways I do from the business point of view. But if your goal is to be an entertainment company, then you have to find the right entertainment pieces to make the entertainment product be the best it could be.
Wouldn't that be the Fiend? Every time he came out, I heard
that's where I'm getting at. Like you,
okay,
like
I'm sorry.
look, that's different. That's different parts of an entertainment company, right? So you have the Fiend. That's one thing. You have, Alexa Bliss do her thing. You have the wrestling side. You have all this other stuff that can come together and make a really good entertainment company. But the main problem, and you and I talked about this before on a previous show, it's not a talent issue, it's a creative issue.
Yep.
And the WWE doesn't know, at least right now, how to make sure their stars are, number one, happy. Well, let me take that back. There are few that are happy.
Yeah.
Number two, they don't know how to make new stars because they're always going back to the old ones, which I don't mind. Like, I don't mind seeing Cena. I don't mind seeing Rock. I do mind seeing Goldberg.
In a championship, probably going to be a main event. Yeah, I have a problem with it.
No, I agree with you. I have a huge problem seeing Goldberg against Lashley. I have a problem with that.
But as a filler match, just like in the middle of SummerSlam, I'd be okay with it.
No, look, the main event of SummerSlam is going to be Cena and Reigns.
Oh, Roman. Yeah, that's right.
That's the main event.
Yeah.
If anything, that'll probably be the top of the third hour of SummerSlam, or you don't want to have it be the very first match unless Bobby just totally squashes Goldberg. But another thing that wrestlers have to understand is that when they go to WWE, is that you have to try to negotiate some sense of creative control or have some say in your character.
Yep.
Because after a while, the money's great. They pay you well. But if your character ain't doing anything.
If you're going out there doing dumb shit night after night.
Yeah. Look, I read an article today that there's certain wrestlers that are concerned about their status within the company. I'm of the opinion that if you are a fringe wrestler or a person who's on borderline within the company, yeah, you should be concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, they got rid of Bray Wyatt because of creative reasons and budget cuts. Guess what? That happens in everyday life. There's very few people within that company, I can honestly say, that are shoe-ins to probably never get fired. Roman is one.
Yep.
Charlotte Flair is two.
Yep.
I think Bobby Lashley is getting there. If you want to go with, I think Rhea is getting there. Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Bianca Belair, and Seth Rollins. I'm sure that there's a few more. I'm not even talking about Edge. I'm not talking about Rey Mysterio. I'm not talking about people like that.
Those are obvious. Yeah.
Like Orton's another one. Orton's a guy that.
Yeah, that's obvious. That's
yeah. Orton's a guy that's kind of like, do I really need to do this?
Yeah.
Come on now. But if you're not those particular people, yeah, you should always be concerned about your job.
Yeah.
Always. And now, as far as like the notion that the wrestling community is pissed, should be. Yeah, you should be pissed because one of your favorites got cut. That's fine too. It's no different in pro sports, or let's say the White Sox. Well, okay. You know how many people were pissed at the White Sox traded Nick Madrigal?
Yeah, I was kind of one of them at first, but then I was like, okay, I see. It was
Right.
a good trade. A good trade.
Yeah. So I mean, look, we understand it. We don't like it,
Yeah.
but shit happens.
Part of life.
It's part of it's part of the quote unquote business.
Yep.
It's the sucky part of it. But look, I hope Bray Wyatt, or wherever he's going to be called in AEW or wherever he goes, I hope he gets creative control of his character and does well. Look, if AEW does well, that's great for the business. It's great for the WWE. This forces them to step their game up.
Yep.
If any other company, like ROH or Impact Wrestling, it's great. My like I told you earlier, my theory behind this is that I don't want AEW to get to a point where it's WCW and like everybody is going over there. Every time someone gets released, oh, we're going to AEW now. Now you're turning into WWE by hoarding talent.
Yeah.
And then eventually, guess what you got to do? You got to cut that talent.
Yeah.
Because you got nothing for them to do. And that's what the WWE was doing. They didn't want people to go somewhere else, so they started signing people to all these big contracts. But I'm just shocked that they couldn't come to some sort of agreement in terms of, all right, we may not see this character going this way. Let's try something else. I'm not a fan of the whole PG era. I need a. I don't look. You and I talked about it the other day about the whole Texas death match. I'm not a huge fan of that. And I don't mind blood in matches, but I don't need to see a pizza cutter.
No,
I don't. I mean, I don't need to see the old ECW stuff where people using a cheese grater on somebody's head. I don't need to see that. That's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
If I want to see blood, I'll go watch a movie.
Yeah.
But if it's a good and entertaining match, if it's like the Foley Triple H match, with barbed wire thumbtacks, okay, but that wasn't the whole part of the match.
No.
I mean, there were some moves in there too. So
yeah, the whole part of that death match on AEW, that was Jericho on his knees in the middle of the ring, and this, what's his name, Brian Gage? What's his name? He just smashed his light bulbs over his head.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I want wrestlers to take control of their characters, but I also want the WWE to just figure out a way to keep your talent happy. Give them some creative freedom. Don't script everything. There's nothing work. You can tell when stuff is scripted. Like I don't mind if a promo, if you give a person the bullet points and just have them free fall off the bullet points, but don't make a person memorize an entire script because that person's trying to memorize things.
Especially wrestling fans.
Just,
right away.
Yeah, just give me who, what, when, where, why, and how.
Yep.
That's all I need as a fan for any promo. And as for a match, I don't need tons of flips. Tell me a great story in the ring. Yep. And that's one of the things I thought Bray Wyatt did.
Oh, God.
Bray Wyatt wasn't a great technical wrestler by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
But he told it one hell of a story.
Yes. That's why I liked him so much, man. Like when they first introduced him in 2012, all those little movies they did were like 5 to 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
Do like one every 2 weeks or so. I loved them. And then when they came in, it was just, I noticed that right away. Like he doesn't do much in the ring, but I always I always enjoyed the Sister Abigail move when he did the backwards spider crawl or crab walk, whatever you call it.
I was going to get to that. Yep.
Loved it.
Yep.
Because all he did, he just kind of picked you up and ragdolled you a little bit in the ring, and then he Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
But like you said, the story, he told a good story.
The story.
It was believable. It felt real.
The story that he told was that he was this cult leader,
yep.
right? This I don't want to use mythical because
no, not mythical.
I'll leave that for the Undertaker.
Yeah.
This cult reality person, to where when he talks, you
listen.
You heed on every word. And then at one point during a promo, he had the entire arena singing, he's got the whole world in his hands.
Those were my favorite Bray Wyatt moments. The Hell in the Cell match against John Cena, where the lights went out, and then they came back, that little kid was singing the song in the demonic voice. That was good. Believable. I always said that would have been better, like, if they told a story before that event, before that match, like that was one of John Cena's family relatives, like a nephew or someone, and he's starting to leak over in the Cena's family. I always thought that would have stepped it up another level, but the way they did it, it was still really cool, man. Like, I just loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, and that's why for me, that's why it's more shocking. And I know, like, you're pissed. I'm more shocked. That's why for me, I'm just kind of like, you couldn't find a way to work this out.
Yeah, right.
Like, and I'm wondering if it's one of those where, like I said, Bray just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. It's like, I want to do this way. Then it got to a point where Bray was like, you know what? If you won't let me do it this way,
I'm out.
I'm done.
Yep.
But I think but you got to find somewhere, and this is where I blame Vince. Number one, Vince, you have a character that's in your wheelhouse, something that not necessarily you created, but it's something that you can get behind and make tons of money off of, and actually was making tons of money off of it.
Yes.
You mean you couldn't tell me that you couldn't find a way to make this work? I'm sure if Vince would have told Bray, okay, we're not going to give you total control over creative, because there's not very many guys within this business or within this company that has total control. Look, as much as we like Bray, let's be honest. He doesn't make as much money as Cena.
No.
And he's not the box office attraction as Roman Reigns is.
No.
But
it could have been.
But yes. But you can sit up here and say, okay, we'll give you 50% of the creative control of this character. You come up with some ideas, we'll come up with some ideas. Let's go on the whiteboard. Let's come up with 3 or 4 that we both can agree on.
Let's meet in the middle.
Meet in the middle and go from there. That's what I think that's missing. And I think and that's the problem. That it's either you're gonna fall in line, or you're gonna get somebody at a lesser salary. There's your budget cut.
Bray Wyatt / The Fiend, I don't want to say talent, because like we both say, he wasn't that great of a technical wrestler, but Bray Wyatt / The Fiend, he was one of those once in a lifetime gimmicks. Now, The Fiend / Bray Wyatt is going to be replicated time and time again, but I will put him in the category of The Undertaker, Mick Foley, The Fiend, of course, The Rock, like all those gimmicks, and there's many more, but all of those gimmicks, to be those will and have been replicated time and time again, but they will never come around the way those guys pulled off those gimmicks. They will never get another Bray Wyatt again.
Oh no,
Never.
no.
Now,
I mean,
some asshole will go in there one day with a demonic mask and coming out to some crazy music, and people will buy into it. I won't, because I know what the hell they're doing. I'll call it bullshit. Vince, he messed up, man. He let something go that he knew. I feel he knew the fans wanted back, that they were craving, that they wanted, that they loved and enjoyed, and he went like that to everyone.
and look, that's what Vince does, because Vince feels like he can make anybody a star.
Well, he's proven he can't do that. He's doing terrible, especially on Raw. I took it off my DVR, man. I'm serious. I have no reason to watch Raw. From now on, if I really want to know what happened, I'm jumping on YouTube and I'm watching the 5-minute recap video.
That's fine. Look, last week's Raw, I didn't enjoy last week's Raw.
Oh no. But the week before was decent.
Yeah, but here's what I will say regarding characters and if how they fit into a mold of what the WWE wants.
Yeah.
The Fiend didn't fit what the WWE wanted.
No, I know.
I'm gonna tell you what character is feeding into what they want. Can you guess who that is?
On Raw?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so much shit on Raw. I have no idea.
Nikki Cross's character. That feeds into what the company wants.
Yeah, you're right. You see, I hate her so much, I didn't even remember her. She's not even in my brain when it comes to wrestling. That gets the fast forward button. When she comes out in that stupid cape and that stupid mask, fast forward. I don't care if it was the main event or the opening little segment she did. I fast forward. I didn't even watch it.
Because that character is not meant for us. That character is meant for my 9-year-old daughter.
Yeah, pretty much. And probably she hates it too. She probably has the know-it-all to say this is stupid.
No, I mean, and because I found myself even after last week's Raw, I'm like, they need Becky Lynch.
Pretty much.
Because I'm not a big Charlotte. No, let me take that back. I love Charlotte Flair. Yeah. I think that she can, but I think that there's a different way they can go with her. I don't. She needs to struggle a little bit, but that's a story for another day. But
correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember ever seeing a champion belt holder demand a rematch. That just doesn't make sense. I'm the champion. I have the belt. But I want a rematch because you beat me. I've never seen that before.
No, I mean, and then on top of that, everything last week was a contenders match.
Yeah.
Now, if I had the pencil or the pen, if I had the pen,
yeah,
I would have booked. All right, guess what? Oh, you beat me. All right, that's fine. I want a rematch. I would have done it this way. If you beat me, you can still be in that triple threat. But if I beat you, you're not. You're coming nowhere near this title. Unless I drop.
Yep. Okay, I can agree with that. Even though I can't stand Nikki Cross.
No, but I personally would have done that.
It makes a lot of sense.
Because guess what? Now it's a reason. Now you have a reason to call it a contenders match.
Yep.
Now you have a reason to tune in. Can Charlotte beat Nikki again? Because if she don't, she's out of that triple threat at SummerSlam.
Yep.
Once again, Raw doesn't exactly. They don't have a talent issue. They have a creative issue, and I'm still puzzled by the fact that what if creatives are the same, why is there a different show booked from Raw to SmackDown? SmackDown was great this week.
SmackDown. I told my wife has actually been watching wrestling with me. I didn't want any wrestling matches. I just wanted John Cena in that ring making sexual innuendos the whole time. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. And then everything that came after was great. It was really good. I didn't watch was the Reginald thing on SmackDown?
No, that was Raw.
Was that Raw?
That was Raw.
Okay, yeah. I fast forward to that because that's just stupid. But no, SmackDown was really good, man.
And that's the thing. Like if creative's the same, minus a few people, then why are we getting shitty shows on Raw but fantastic shows on SmackDown?
Yeah, I want to say what in the past month and a half, as fans, we've been screwed 3 times now. They started a story with Aleister Black. He made 2 appearances where he came out. Let him go. Braun Strowman, even though the whole Strowman Express gimmick was really stupid, I liked him. Let him go. And now Bray Wyatt. And he put a tweet out of himself. He's jacked, man. Yeah. Bray Wyatt has been in the gym lifting.
Yeah, he's got himself in really good shape.
He said something in the matter of I feel great, ready to get back to work, somewhere along those lines. So I know a lot of people on Twitter I see are saying, well, maybe he requested a release. No way. There's no way he requested any release. I don't believe it. I won't buy that he said, oh, release me. I'm done here. I don't think he would have put in the work he's been putting in. He's jacked.
No, I don't think he requested it, like back then.
No, but after their talks that they had.
After their talks and they couldn't agree on anything creative, I'm pretty sure it's kind of like, all right, well, if you're not going to at least let me not necessarily do what I want with this character, but let's come to some sort of consensus on what's best for the character. If we're not going to do that, if it's going to be the WWE way or the highway, then I'll take the highway.
Yep. It's just, I'm so disappointed. I'm disappointed.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That is a great term. And that's why I said, I was shocked, disappointed. At first I was, kind of pissed, but then I kind of mellowed myself out a little bit. Like it's disappointing. It's truly disappointing because the character was there. You had a great mind from a wrestling family. That's the sad part about it is that Vince comes from a wrestling family.
Yeah.
He has great relationships with a lot of the wrestling families that he's employed, him and his father employed over the past 50 years.
I had no idea, like I texted you this morning. I had no clue his father was the IRS character.
Yeah. Mike McClendon. Yeah.
It never dawned on me.
Yeah. So I mean that great relationships with that family. You get great family with Roman Reigns' people, The Rock's people. He even for the most part has a decent enough relationship with the Hart family.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why I always will kind of bristle at the idea that Vince hates pro wrestling. I still don't believe that just because of his relationships with the family and how pro wrestling is the backbone of what's going on.
Yeah.
Of what he's built. I just think that he thinks that it's not what sells because it's not what he wants to sell it as. He wants it as an entertainment company.
I don't understand that logic. If that's his logic, he doesn't. What did you say? He doesn't believe in wrestling, or what did you say?
He doesn't. He doesn't hate pro wrestling per se. He just doesn't think that it sells.
I mean, as a
Like,
wrestling fan, when you tune in to Monday Night Raw, why are you tuning in? To watch wrestling.
Right. I agree with you. But here, let me ask you this. Back in the day, did you really tune in Monday Night Raw to watch Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestle? Or did you tune in to Monday Night Raw to watch Stone Cold Steve Austin whoop somebody's ass?
Whoop somebody's ass.
Okay. Did you tune in to Monday Night Raw to watch The Rock wrestle, or did you tune in to Raw to watch The Rock entertain us on the mic?
I was gonna interrupt you and say I would tune in and listen to him talk.
That's what Vince is going for. Vince entertainment.
But isn't that what Bray Wyatt did?
No. I agree with you.
I know you do. I'm just.
Yeah, I'm just saying that Vince McMahon is this with him. Can you entertain? You have a certain look. Oh, by the way, you can wrestle a little bit. Okay, that's fine.
Which, if that's his logic, that's what fits into his logic.
Paul Heyman can't wrestle.
No, but he's very, very goddamn entertaining.
Yes.
So he should fire Paul Heyman then. Let Paul Heyman go, because people tune in to see Paul Heyman. It doesn't make sense what he's doing. I agree with you're saying. I'm not saying you're not making sense.
Right.
But if this is what Vince is doing, and this is what he's thinking in his little fucking peanut brain, Paul Heyman should be fired. Fire him right now.
Oh, it's been done before.
Why did you bring John Cena back? Let's get Cena the hell out of there.
Well, he brought Cena back because Cena's a box office draw, and Cena has carte blanche to do anything and everything that he wants.
Yeah, he could do whatever he wants, which I get,
Look, you've been around the company since 2004.
Yeah. Word life.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. There's very few guys, and you said it. There's very few guys within that company that can come and go as they please.
I almost bought a Cena shirt the other day.
I had a Chain Gang baseball jersey.
Yeah, I almost bought one. Then I said I might have to kick myself in the nuts. And then I have to have you guys come over and kick me in the nuts. That's the only way I could justify wearing a John Cena shirt.
No, I had a Chain Gang baseball jersey right when Cena was starting to get popular.
Okay. No, I'm saying I almost bought one Friday night.
You should have.
I'm 37 years old.
Dude, I got a Nia Jax shirt.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I've always had this perception of John Cena. Here's his fan base: 9-year-old little boys and 40-year-old single horny women. That's it. That's his fan base.
Or people who still stay at home with their parents. That's what The Rock said.
Okay. Yeah. See. Okay. Yeah, that too. So if I even told my wife, if I wear a John Cena shirt, I might have to punch myself in the nuts. Never give up. Work for it. It's like, where the hell am I going to wear this?
Right.
It's like, that's why I won't get a Cannibal Corpse shirt. It's like, where the hell am I going to wear this? I've got daughters,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd be real comfortable with me walking around with one of those shirts on.
Right. Look, man. It's you said it best. It's disappointing that
it's very disappointing. I'm very disappointed. I'm very let down. I know it's wrestling. I know it's scripted, and
no, but you're a fan. You're a fan. There's no...
Here's the thing. People say, "Oh, I thought you were a baseball fan." I am a baseball fan, but I watch baseball for like relaxation.
Right.
Like I sit here and you guys text back and forth, and I don't respond because your guys' passion is like baseball. Like you guys know even like the money aspects of contract. I don't like that's why I don't respond to it. I don't know when it comes to the numbers and all the little different statistics and all that, you know. Sometimes I start texting to get into it and I was like, nah, this just sounds stupid. So I delete it. But with wrestling, it's almost kind of like an investment for I mean, I got the fucking t-shirts. I got a belt sitting on my coffee table over there. You know, I've got the DVR set for 4 different shows where I don't know how I find the time to watch it, but I do.
Right. No, it's time. It's time invested. No, I get it. Look, it's no different than a person who gets season tickets for the White Sox or goes to a Cub game or just think about Cub fans right now, what they're going through, seeing some of their favorites get traded. It sucks. It sucks. I mean, that's probably a good comparison right now.
But they don't get cut for budget cuts. They get traded to do better.
Yeah,
like the White Sox traded Nick Madrigal because they're pretty much saying we want a World Series right now.
No, but my point is that you do have situations where guys get cut because of salary cap purposes, budget cuts.
Okay, but those are like the lower tier players. Majority of the time.
You have Kyle Fuller for the Bears, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, got cut because he made too much money and didn't want to restructure his deal. Budget cuts.
Well, I'm not a Bears fan, so.
Well, just think about the Eagles. The Eagles probably cut somebody because of to get up under the salary cap and try to save some money, or here, better yet, they found a cheaper person to do the exact same job. Because that's in essence what they're doing.
3 and 14.
Huh?
3 and 14. 3 and 14.
Yeah. I mean that's in essence. I mean it's like I said, it happened. It happens all over. It's
way off topic of Bray Wyatt. You heard Carson Wentz is hurt already, right?
I know. I saw that. He's either gonna, he might need to have surgery.
He said he's gonna rest his foot for 2 days to see if he can. If that works, he'll be ready for week 1.
Trade for Foles.
Oh man, if they do that, the Colts win the Super Bowl with Nick Foles should be the highest paid quarterback in the league.
He's just going to Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
Okay, back on topic. I don't want to get into the goddamn Eagles. Yeah, but like I said, I'm disappointed. I'm upset. I'm angry. I'm kind of happy that he's out of there because they weren't using him, and when he was there, they didn't use him properly. But that was my reason for watching Monday Night Raw. I feel like I've been robbed, and I feel like I've wasted my time since April.
You know what? I was going to tell you to don't feel angry, but I'm not going to sit up here and tell you how to feel because you're a fan. At the end of the day, you're a fan.
Bray Wyatt.
Right. But what I will say is that, if you don't want to watch Raw anymore, that's totally up to you. Totally up to you. I will keep you abreast of watching Raw, even though sometimes it's a chore to do.
No, like I said, I'll just watch the recap on YouTube. It's 5 minutes.
Yeah. But there's still other shows, and I hope Bray goes somewhere where he get creative control for his character. He reinvents himself to something else that's awesome and kicks ass.
You know what's really sad or really upsetting for me? God, I sound like a little baby saying I'm sad. You know what's real disappointing to me?
You're in mourning, dude.
Yeah.
Your favorite guy is no longer with the company, so it's
no doubt Vince owns the Fiend character, and I'll never see the Fiend again. Here's what I'm hoping will happen. I'm hoping he does what Scott says. AEW waits 6 months and then bring him in as a shocker. And please don't announce it. Don't hint at it. Don't do anything. No social media, no nothing. In like 4 to 6 months, bring him in, have him just dominate, start taking belts. But I hope he comes up with a total ripoff of the Fiend character. Call Savini up and say, you know what? I need a new, very extremely similar mask, very extremely similar costume. Call up Code Orange and say, I need a very new and very similar song. And just give Vince the finger. And in a way, still say, I'm still the Fiend. You don't.
Dude, it's been done before.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of people that's coming out and gave Vince the finger. But at the end of the day, you can give Vince the finger.
Yeah, he's still on top.
But he's still on top.
Yeah, he wins at the end of the day.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, you can win a battle, but can you win the war against Vince?
He can't. He said that comment that he doesn't consider them competition. I don't know, man. When
that's the mindset within the company. That's the mindset.
When people make comments like that, that means they're kind of worried a little bit, and they're so worried they have to say something. They have to bring it up.
I think he was asked about that at their quarterly press conference,
yeah.
their earnings call about how he views AEW. Look, he said, I don't view them as competition. Okay. And he's probably right. And he says that he doesn't view them as competition as he did WCW. That's because WCW was kicking their ass every week.
Yeah.
Until they start winning the ratings war week after week after week after week. No.
AEW is starting to shine the light on that. The ratings. On Monday Night Raw, not on SmackDown, on Raw.
Right, but even with Raw, Raw is still outdrawing.
Yeah.
In terms of overall numbers, as opposed to AEW.
Yeah. If they put something on Monday night, that would be awesome.
Well, I want to see what happens when they go to Fridays.
Yeah, Friday Night Wars, basically, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have the best show was, I don't know, second best show that WWE has versus AEW show. Here's, and I know this is not a Bray Wyatt discussion, but I got something to get off my chest because this has been bothering me.
Yeah, go for it.
So remember I sent the text message about how people up in WWE don't view NXT as a third brand, but as a developmental brand?
Yeah.
My problem with that is that if this is indeed a developmental brand, why do you have $1 billion TV contract on it?
I didn't know they had that kind of contract.
I mean, it's part of the Universal, their USA contract. Why?
Well, that is developmental.
If it's a developmental brand, put it on Peacock.
True.
It's not a developmental brand.
No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that for 1 second.
It's not at all. It's a brand that gets shit on because it's better than Vince's favorite show.
Yep. And what he did to Karrion Kross, that really hurt NXT. When he came out the next night, was it the next night on NXT? I couldn't take him serious anymore.
No.
I can't. I'm pretty sure Samoa Joe's taking that belt.
Oh yeah. Another thing that bothered me, I don't know if you picked this up. So when Charlotte Flair beat Rhea for the women's title, They said that she was the 11-time world heavyweight champion. She's not. She's 14-time. She's won the NXT women's title 3 times. They're not counting her NXT title reigns.
So they're not counting.
That's how they view
That's
NXT.
how petty. That's how petty they're being with NXT.
Yep.
I did not catch that.
Yep.
It's getting bad.
And NXT is the top show of the 3. It's the top show.
Yep.
And it's sad because Triple H, Shawn Michaels, they do one hell of a job getting those people, getting those wrestlers ready each and every Wednesday. And then to have Vince pluck somebody from the roster and treat them the way that they treat them.
Yep.
That's a problem. But I did buy the whole Jeff Hardy winning if they were going to go the route that they did in terms of showing how important Scarlett was. I did buy that.
I can't buy it anymore because then they had him go out and beat Keith Lee.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
You should have had him lose to Keith Lee.
Oh yeah.
And that's another guy that should be dominant.
He's a doormat. He's a doormat. He's going to turn Karrion Kross into a doormat. Kind of like what he did to Bray Wyatt. He's a doormat. He won. Bray Wyatt won. What did he win? What title was the last one Wyatt held? The heavyweight championship, right?
Yeah. No, the thing was a universal title.
Okay, yeah, it was the universal. He won that at that. Did he win it at that pay-per-view that they had in Saudi Arabia, or is that where Goldberg took it from him?
That's a good question. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, anyways, he got the belt. I was like, yes, he's gonna just wipe through the whole roster, and then here comes Goldberg. Boom, takes the belt from him. Turn him into a doormat. He's always, when he came back after leaving in 2018 for a little bit, it's like he had this personal vendetta against Bray Wyatt. Like, you are not going to be successful. And when you are, I'm going to snatch it from you immediately.
Yeah, well.
I started noticing the big negative changes to the character when Goldberg took the belt from him.
Well, they made that character cartoonish. That's the problem. Instead of it being that gory reality-based character that we wanted the Fiend to be, that cult of personality that Bray Wyatt was, they just made him too cartoonish, and that's Vince McMahon personally. He likes cartoon characters.
Like I said, I think the character was too big for today's WWE. It was too much, especially for that creative team. That's very obvious and apparent. They couldn't handle it.
Hey, except it should have been a situation where if I was Bray, I would have asked for a transfer over to SmackDown. I don't know if he did that, but I probably would have asked for that.
Whatever would have got him on TV, I would have liked it. I would have backed it.
And honestly, he just got medically cleared. He was ready for his return in later next week. He's scheduled to come back next week.
Well, I know the WrestleMania loss. He kind of, he said he didn't even want to be there at one point because he was still upset about Brody, Luke Harper, about him passing away. And I get that. I guess right before the match, he said, I don't want to do this. Let's get this over with. I need to go away for a little bit. I didn't know he was injured. I always thought he was just gone because he was mourning. I know he put a tweet out saying that he was like really depressed about his friend being gone, and he didn't know how to deal with it, and he couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's totally understandable.
Oh yeah, and I get that. I never ridiculed him or anything in that manner for not being out there. I mean, if that happened to me with like one of you guys, God forbid, I would be destroyed, man. I wouldn't be able to do anything. So I get where it's coming from. But then when he's like, okay, I'm ready to go, and he's jacked, ready for work, and then you cut him, you release him, it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And I don't buy anyone that says, oh, he probably requested it or he didn't want to wrestle anymore. It's bullshit. I don't buy it.
No, he wanted to. No, he wanted to wrestle. Absolutely. Yeah. Look, I mean, look, the business is in his blood. He wanted to wrestle, but he wanted to do it on. He had a certain vision on how he perceived the character, which is his right. But the company has their vision, and who's going to win out?
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you felt about it, but I know Scott said he didn't like it at all. But because of COVID, the way they did WrestleMania last year, the whole Bray Wyatt and John Cena thing.
Well, I mean, you had to do something.
I loved it.
I mean, you had to. Yeah, I don't look. You had no fans.
Yeah.
And you had to do something in order to, because you're just not going to cancel WrestleMania. You're just not.
No.
So you had to do something. They did the cinematic match. I actually like you. I enjoyed it because it was a movie just talked about what if John Cena would have did all these things ass backwards and became a heel. What if he was part of NWO and a bad guy and
that's what it was. It was a movie.
Yeah, and it's Bray Wyatt playing mind games with John Cena.
Yep.
Which is something that he normally would have done anyway if there was actual fans in the arena.
I can't recall him coming out and me ever saying that was stupid or I didn't like that or that was bad. I've always, at the end of a little movie or a little promo or end of a match, I've always been left smiling. Always been left saying that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was good.
Look, his whole character arc when he was Husky Harris to the Fiend, that's one hell of an arc.
Yeah.
And he worked hard on that. Look.
Yeah.
He's a great mind, just like what Mickey James said. He's a great wrestler.
2008?
Yeah.
His developmental.
Yeah. He was part of that second Nexus group.
Yeah.
And look, he has a great mind for the business. I kind of wish the WWE would treat some of these, just get some ideas from some of your talent. Use that.
Well, they had to save money for Nikki Cross's cape, and the mask. And, they had to save money for that. So, and they had to throw money to have Goldberg show up out of nowhere on SmackDown,
Well, Goldberg's under contract no matter what budget cuts.
They needed money to pay for it, so.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing I don't understand. I mean, if it's truly a budget cut, I mean, from what I was reading, not Goldberg, Bray Wyatt merchandise is doing really well.
Yeah.
Hence by you wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been technically a true budget issue. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the middle between.
But hey, we still get to see Nia Jackson flop around the ring, like two fucking beached whales. We get to see that still, but Bray Wyatt goes with his great gimmick because of budget cuts, So I'm just pissed, man. It pisses me off, man. It pisses me off.
I know.
Why not get rid of somebody bad? or someone who sucks or someone who the fans don't like. Get rid of them.
Because a lot of those people
Like them.
sometimes, huh?
Like
Because a lot of those people who we don't like are the same people that Vince loves or creator loves.
like I see these grown men like myself who get into wrestling cheering for Nikki Cross. It's like, my God, you're an idiot. I don't understand it.
Look, I'm cheering for Nikki Cross because I think she's a good person. I like what she does. I'm cheering for that character to succeed because she's been around. She was with Sanity from NXT.
Yeah.
She's like the only one that's still left outside of Ciampa. I think Ciampa was Insanity, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Because her husband got released not that long ago.
Yeah. It's just the whole almost superhero. That's what I really hate. Like regular Nikki Cross, like she annoyed me, but I didn't hate her.
But you regular Nikki Cross, when she was with NXT,
yeah,
was a crazy one.
Yeah.
But she was actually pretty good when her and Alexa Bliss was tag team champions.
Yeah, she was. They were.
And this is why I think that they're going to give her enough rope with this gimmick, because she came up with it and they absolutely enjoy it because it's something that the company can get behind. So they're going to give her enough rope before they say, nah, we're going to take this title off of you. I hope that I kind of hope that they do, because I would like, Rhea should never lost the title, in my opinion. I'm just like you're a big fan of Bray Wyatt, I am a huge fan of Rhea Ripley.
No, I'm a fan of Rhea Ripley too, and I agree. She should have the belt. She should have the belt right now. I'm not a Charlotte Flair fan, but I like what they're doing with her. I like how they're having her just beat the shit out of Nikki Cross.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would like. See, this is where I think they also missed the boat. I like Sonya Deville, but I only like Sonya Deville as being in a wrestling capacity. You know who would have been really good as an authoritative figure on Monday Night Raw right now? Mickie James.
Oh yeah, especially after this shit. Oh, definitely.
And I've been thinking about this, for like since she's been cut. She should have been an authority figure.
Yeah.
Or somebody like Beth Phoenix, like a veteran, female, that's been around. I truly believe, don't get me wrong, I love Sonya Deville. She's good, but that role needs somebody with a little bit more
excitement.
Whose name carries a little bit more weight. Like you have Mickie James comes out as the authority figure. Guess what? That's a 7-time women's champion. I'm going to listen.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's too many times that they missed the boat on just little things, and those little things, after a while, add up to big things, and then you get the stupid shit like Bray Wyatt being released.
They really missed the boat on this one. They'll never get anything like this again. Obviously, they don't want anything like this, so.
We can speculate on what they want. I have my ideas, but I mean, we're not in their creative meetings. We don't know what exactly these guys are telling Vince, and Vince is like, "Oh, that's good shit," and let's go with that. We all we can do is speculate. I wish I was in a creative meeting with Vince.
Make sure. I know tomorrow I'm going to listen to Busted Open.
Yeah, look.
I want to hear what they have to say on this.
I have a feeling that it's going to be one of two things. Well, it's going to be a combination of this. You're going to have fans that are going to say how they feel, be disappointed, pissed off, whatever.
Yep.
You're going to have one host that's going to say, they missed the boat because he's going to speak like a fan.
Yep.
And then you're going to have another one, the other host, that's going to probably be more like me and be in between.
Yeah. Probably. I'm just interested to see what they have to say.
Yeah, I mean, Bully Ray put out a tweet basically saying, did anything happen today?
Yeah.
If it did, let me know. We'll talk about it on Monday.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's all I have.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we got SummerSlam in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. My card is, I think it's coming to fruition in terms of what my prediction will be.
Okay.
Obviously you have Reigns versus Cena as the main event. I'm really looking forward to the Sasha Bianca Belair match. I think that might be the match of the night. Actually, I'll take that back. I think 1A is that. I think 1B might be Edge and Seth Rollins. I
like that matchup.
That's going to be a good match. And I love the fact that they played off what happened like 8 years ago when, Seth was with the Authority and he almost broke Edge's neck and he was going to give him a curb stomp on a chair.
Yeah.
I'm liking the fact that they're reliving some of that stuff. But if you notice, the 3 matches that I'm talking about are from SmackDown.
Yep. Well, I don't have anything else.
No, I'm good.
I'm pretty spent.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to try and get over the Bray Wyatt release thing.
You know what? You will. I mean, it's just like when a sport team releases a talent. You get mad, but eventually you'll get over it. And
I'll check Raw out tomorrow, only to see if people are booing. If people aren't,
they will.
If people aren't in there going ape shit, I'm turning it off.
Look, the crowd will go ape shit, just because it's the Chicago crowd. That's what they do.
Yeah.
My concern is, number one, you will hear a CM Punk chant if things are not going well.
Yeah.
Number two, as we talked about earlier, I'm hoping to God that they pre-tape anything that has to do with Lily, because they're supposed to do that Lily Lilivation thing where it's a scoop off of Eva Marie.
Yep.
They're supposed to start that crap tomorrow.
Don't bring her out. Don't do it.
And I just hope that tomorrow, I hope the WWE knows their audience, because I feel like the past couple of weeks, they've done things based off the fact that, because let's be honest, last week's crowd for Raw was pretty bad.
It was.
So I'm hoping that, we'll see some good things from creative, knowing that if they don't do anything great, that Chicago crowd will let you know.
I kind of want everyone to do a Firefly thing, bust the phones out and start singing "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands." That would be great. That's what they should do. So we shall see.
Yeah, it should be fun.
So, all right. Well,
cool.
Thanks, Hitman. It was good. Good doing a show with you.
Yep.
So in a couple of days, we'll get on here. We'll talk some White Sox.
Sweet.
Football's right around the corner. Hall of Fame game Thursday.
Dude,
so
guess what tomorrow is?
What's tomorrow?
NBA free agency.
Yep. Okay, I don't want to get into it.
No, we'll do a show for that.
All right, man.
All right, cool.
All right, man. Thanks, man.
Yep.